From Zach Erb Stadium here in the city of Riverside, it's the Riverside TV Game of the Week as the Norte Vista Braves take on the Terriers of Redlands High School. Hi everybody, J.R. Ibarra along with Jeff Gorham, bringing you all of tonight's action in this very important matchup. Important why? Because this is the final game here in the preseason before we head into league play, so you want to have some good momentum as you start league.
You want to get your tune-ups. In Norte Vista, they missed a game earlier this season. They've won 3. They've played very well, outscoring their opponents. We saw they're averaging over 300 yards a game on offense. I'll tell you what, you just have to get tuned up to get ready for that River Valley League play.
It's typical Norte Vista. They've already racked up 1,300 yards on the ground, 600 alone by Eddie Elaine. So he's the man that they're going to key in on tonight.
Eddie Elaine, the younger brother of the great Freddie Holly, who had over 3,000 yards here at Norte Vista. He is in the same footsteps, getting a lot of looks from colleges, and he could be a dominant force.
Interesting offensive attack here for Redlands. They're a very balanced football team, but they have a freshman quarterback with Dawson Martinez. Martinez is actually the younger brother of Taylor Martinez from Corona Centennial and also from the University of Nebraska. So he has some pedigree behind it, but he has some development to do as well.
I'll tell you what, there's no better way than being a starter as a freshman on a team really that's building again. Redlands was a dominant force for the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, they're one of the oldest high schools around, but what better to really get your wheels going as a young quarterback.
So it's a good matchup tonight of two very different teams offensively. And again, the importance of heading into league play with some momentum is the crucial item for tonight. Stay with us. Opening kickoff is coming your way next here on Riverside TV.
The Riverside County Transportation Commission has partnered with California Operation Lifesaver to educate Riverside County residents about how to be safe around trains and railroad tracks. Here are 3 safety facts you need to know. First, trespassing on train tracks is not only dangerous and can lead to serious injury, it is also illegal. Second, you may not always be able to hear a train coming, which is why it's important to always stay off and away from tracks. And finally, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a complete stop. If an object or person is on the tracks and the train can't stop in time, unfortunately, a collision may occur. Now that you're the expert, you can help us spread the word by sharing these important safety messages with your friends and family. We thank you for practicing rail safety.
From Zach Erb Stadium on the campus of Norte Vista High School, it is the Riverside TV Game of the Week as the Terriers of Redlands visit the Braves of Norte Vista. Hi everybody, J.R. Ibarra along with Jeff Gorham bringing you all the action. As we mentioned in our pre-game matchup here, this is an important matchup as you want to go into league with some momentum, some strength behind you, and obviously Norte Vista has already kind of proved that already with 3 wins on the season.
Well, they have, but the wins that they've got, they've kind of pretty much dominated their opponents. And when they get in the River Valley League, if they haven't played a full game with their starters, this could be a difficult task because you have Ramona who's playing out of their minds right now. They're averaging like 40 plus points a game. You have Hillcrest on the horizon. So in order, I think, for Norte Vista to get better, they're going to have to play a full game with their starters. And this could be the game versus Redlands, a young team, but they could end up playing an entire game.
Ken Batdorf did mention that to us before the game, that he has his starters back in place after having to curtail some injuries earlier on in the season. So he's looking to get them some full playtime experience here on the green, and let's see if that makes any kind of a difference in what they do as they head into league play. Redlands on the flip side, this is a team, as you mentioned, Jeff, kind of young, being steered by a freshman quarterback right now with a pedigree, though. Dawson Martinez, as we mentioned in pregame, the little younger brother of Taylor Martinez from Corona Centennial and from University of Nebraska. So he has a very good arm. I've seen some film clips of him. He's pretty decent. He's just still developing. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I'll tell you what better place to play is at Redlands. I mean, you're starting as a true freshman. You're getting all the snaps. You can only get better. And that, like you said, the pedigree, his brother, everybody involved, he will become a very, very good quarterback. And I think these are kind of his learning ways right now.
Yeah, I think as he develops, he could be somewhat of a factor, and we'll keep a strong eye on him tonight to see what kind of things he does in moving that offensive squad forward here for Redlands. We've got a ceremonial coin toss going on tonight with the great Frank Carell, a good friend of yours, Jeff, who is a legend, if you will, from Norte Vista.
Yeah, great place kicker, played for the Rams, played for UCLA and RCC here locally. Just a legend. He was a 4-sport athlete here at Norte Vista. Played track, soccer, basketball, and football. Actually played basketball for my dad back in the early 70s. And I've remained friends with Frank forever. He's a true Ram through and through. In fact, we're going to interview him at halftime. And I'll tell you what, if you ask Frank if he could suit up and play right now, he probably would say yes, and he would go. I tell you, he loves the Rams, loves Norte Vista High School, and loves Riverside.
Well, he will be featured tonight, as you said, during our halftime festivities, as it is homecoming tonight. There you see the Braves ready to rumble here for a final game in the preseason, if you will, to try to get themselves some momentum heading into the River Valley starting next Friday night. The Redlands Terriers won the coin toss, but they decided to defer to the second half, so we'll see what happens there. This will give the Braves an opportunity to come out smoking right out of the gate here. Micah Gaines, along with Eddie Elaine, will be back to receive tonight's kick.
Yeah, in fact, this is the first game for Micah Gaines this season because, he played for the Braves for 3 seasons and then left, went back to Chicago, moved in with his family, got homesick, and needed to come out for his senior season. So he has just come back, and now this is his first game eligible, so great to see him back in uniform for the Braves.
Absolutely. Excellent point for tonight. So we're just about ready to tee it up, get things rumbling here on Riverside TV. Glad to have you along with us on a very balmy night, kind of warm and humid tonight. But nonetheless, it's a great time to take in some good football. Jacob Bennett has it teed up here for the Terriers of Redlands, and we are just a few seconds to get it kicked off for tonight's festivities. Low squib tight kick gets picked up right at about the 30-yard line and still rambling for some yardage and taken to about the 43, and that's where the Braves will have it with a first down and 10.
And look for a lot of ground and pound tonight. Coach Batdorf, you and I talked to him prior to the game, and he said, hey, we got to get back to what we're used to doing, and that's just playing smash mouth football, off tackle, right side, left side. You better stop us, and they're going to do anything they can to just throw it right up the middle. Not throw it, I should say, run it up the middle.
Exactly. So keep an eye on the running game for tonight. You can usually focus in on Eddie Elaine. But this time it looks like Carvajal will be the carrier as he keeps the feet moving, gains about 8 yards on the carry. Jesse Carvajal, another one of those great tools here for the Braves at Norte Vista.
Kind of a thunder and lightning backs. Carvajal more the power back, Elaine more the, the elusive, gets all the recognition.
Elaine is your ball carrier. He takes it past the first down marker, so it'll be first down and 10 as they move the chains, and he'll pick up about 5 to 6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, Elaine will get all of the glory and accolades, but Carvajal does all the dirty work. He's Mr. Mean, I like to call him. He has a bunch of nicknames. They call him Turbo, but I just think he's Mr. Mean. He's just the meanest guy around. I see him on campus. I'm scared of him.
Already past midfield here for the Braves, sending a man in motion. High formation toss goes back to Elaine, looking to get some and getting stacked up just beyond the line of scrimmage. Don't know if they're going to give him any kind of forward progress on that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's.
I'm seeing them move the marker. That looks pretty generous.
Wow. That's the homecoming spot right there.
Okay. I'm sure Coach Batdorf will take it. Gain of about 3, almost 4 yards on the carry. So second down. And about 6 here for the Braves in Norte Vista. Carvajal is now stacked up in the I formation. Toss goes to Carvajal. Going to go straight up the gut, keeps the legs moving, and picks up another first down here for Novi.
If you're Ken Batdorf, that's exactly what you want. You want to, eat clock and eat a lot of yardage. And if you can control the clock, and hey, we've seen him do it before. He's played an entire drive in 1 quarter. This could be a four drive game for Novi if they play that smart football.
As we mentioned, 1,300 yards on the ground so far here in 2021, 600 of those by Eddie Elaine by himself, but Jesse Carvajal is there to also add some yardage to to the mix as well. First down and 10. Ball's just past the 30. Pitch is going to go back to Elaine. Eludes one tackler. Stays on his feet. They drive him forward close to the first down marker. He could be shy by about a yard or so on that carry.
Yeah, and Elaine, one of those backs. He's not doesn't run low. You know, he has a kind of a Marcus Dupree, Eric Dickerson way of running. Runs upright, but he's so fast. Get him on the outside. He's a sprinter. You know, and a lot of people are looking at him, getting recruited by a lot of schools.
Right.
But I think teams now are looking at him as a possible defender because he's really shown he's a great defender on that side of the football. So he could be one of those guys that could transfer his offense to defense at the next level.
2nd and 1 here for the Braves. Elaine once again gets the toss straight up the gut. Kind of your prototypical game here for the Braves. He'll pick up the first down once again with a gain of about 6 on the carry. Already 4 carries so far here in this football game for Eddie Elaine. Yeah, as you mentioned, Jeff, he's already getting some looks from what Coach Batdorf was telling us from some of the Mountain West teams, Fresno, Boise State, just to name a few. So we could be seeing him around the West Coast here even after this time in high school. Pitch goes back to Carvajal. Thrusts his way forward. Looks like it's a pickup and gain of close to 5 on the carry.
His brother, Freddie Holly, was a great back for Ken Batdorf. Played his college years at the University of Hawaii. I'm sure he's watching deep in the heart of Texas with he and his wife, Gina, Gina Luska Holly now. She's a former student here at North Vista High School. He married his high school sweetheart.
Awesome. So it's a 2nd and 5 scenario here for the Braves of North Vista. Ball just inside of the 10-yard line, so they're right within that red zone. Pitch is going to go back to Elaine. Looking for some daylight and going to get wrestled down with maybe a pickup of 2 if they are generous with him. And they have been tonight. Yeah, looks like maybe 3 on the carry. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1 situation here for the Braves of North Vista.
Yeah, Lane coming out of the ball game. We're going to see probably a lot of Carvajal here.
So
trying to get that 1 yard.
So inside of the 5, Braves looking to threaten here, and was it a mix-up or a misdirection? Because it looked like it got a little bit of a hiccup there.
And let's see if they move the sticks, and they do. So it's going to be first and goal.
I thought Dominic Garcia, the quarterback, might have flubbed the snap there, but nope. And it looks like timeout down on the field. So the clock is stopped at 7:47 here in the first quarter play. No score, but the Braves in North Vista are looking to punch it into the end zone.
Yeah, and really running nearly 5 minutes off the clock here. That's exactly what Ken Batdorf wanted to do. He wanted to score early. He wanted to score in bunches. You know, I think his goal this year is, you know, he really has to get his teams off to a good start. They played Claremont, scored 7 points. Might have been a career low for Ken Batdorf here at North Vista in his 74 years as coach. Oh, I'm sorry, 28 years as coach. And
it almost feels like
trust
74
me,
years.
Talking to that guy, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'll just pull back the curtain a little bit. For the last 12 years that I've been around Ken Batdorf, I think I've called him every Friday night to rib him a little bit about the games. And heck, I can't believe the guy's been here 28 years.
That is astounding. I mean, that is just amazing
That
to
had to be
have
when
that
they were
much history in one location.
He's a fossil.
That's amazing. There was an injury down on the field for Redlands High School. That was Sergio Mora who got helped off the field. He's a tackle for the Terriers, so hopefully he'll get a chance to nurse it up and get back into the ball game. Eddie Elaine is now the lone setback here for the Braves of North Vista as we get the clock moving once again. Braves looking to punch this one in. Pitch back to Elaine. Looking to push it through. Just shy. Probably right at the goal line, shy by about a foot or so.
Yeah, someday they're gonna bury Ken Batdorf probably on the 50-yard line. It'll be.
It would be kind of appropriate, actually.
It would be pretty sweet. Hey, there's Ken.
Well, it's funny. I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
I saw no indication of a touchdown, but I guess that was a touchdown because we saw the replay, and he definitely broke the plane there for the end zone.
Yeah, for those refs, maybe they were just a little lazy.
I don't know.
I don't know about those guys.
They had their mind on something else.
Who's our referees
Our
tonight?
referees for tonight is consisting of Matt Arliano. Umpire is Mike Garcia. Head linesman is Ryan Clabo. The line judge is Kent Tooley, and the back judge is Chadwick Mazzone.
I'll tell you what, though. I know Matt Ariano, his father, I was telling you before the game, his father was the longtime basketball, football, and I believe at one time he coached baseball at Arlington High School. He was a Ramona High School alumni. Yeah. I mean, he's in the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, which I am I'm the board of directors of. I didn't have any say in that because it was before my time, but his dad was, I would say, in the top 3 coaches of all time in the city of Riverside. Danny Ariano, rest his soul, great guy.
Kick is going to go to Lamar Ashley, and he's just going to let it go through the end zone, which is a smart move. Ashley, a senior running back here for the Terriers of Redlands. In fact, as we talked to Coach Mike McFarland earlier in the game, he's pretty high on this young man's capabilities. He's kind of a little guy. He's 5'5", 135 pounds, so he could be a little elusive, if you will.
He's about the size of my 4-year-old. You saw my other son, my oldest.
Yeah, your son is
giant.
quite tall. He's a tall kid.
Yeah, and then this good. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing this young quarterback. The pedigree, his brother was a great quarterback at University of Nebraska.
Right, as well as down the road there at Corona Centennial.
The evil empire.
So what we see here, you'll see a lot of spread formations by the Terriers of Redlands. As you see, Dawson Martinez there, lone setback for the Redlands Terriers. He's going to sit back, look off to his right, almost picked off. Ball was intended for Jacob Marion and nearly picked off.
Yeah, Albert Perez jumped the gap there. I think it was too easy for him as we see it. But a good-looking throw, though, from the young freshman.
He's got a decent arm, that's for sure. As you see Perez getting a handle on the football. So makes it a 2nd and 10 situation with the clock stopped at 7:37 here in the first quarter. Braves leading this contest by a score of 7-0. Martinez looking things over. Once again in that spread formation, this time looking left, tosses it up in a timing pattern, but the receiver gets wrapped up, and it looks like there will be a defensive interference call here.
Yeah, I believe so.
Now Martinez has a very decent arm. I've seen some game tape on him so far. Like we said, just a little bit of inconsistency, but nonetheless, he's got a pretty decent arm for being a freshman. So yeah, the flag goes against the Braves of Norte Vista, so this breathes a little of life here to the Terriers of Redland as the ball will be spotted right at the 35. Redlands High School, part of the Citrus Belt League. Long-time competitor in the Citrus Belt League. We'll tell you a little bit about that in just a bit. Martinez once again setting everybody in a spread. Going to send Ashley in motion. Ashley is now in the backfield, and the give is to Ashley. Scampers to his right, has an open field, and takes the football inside of the 50 down to the 46, 45-yard line of Norte Vista. Nice run on that carry.
Yeah, great run as we look here on the replay. I mean, he just found a hole, ran right off tackle. Good gain, but
it's going to get negated by a flag.
Maybe that's why he had such a big hole. Might have been a hole there.
Somebody might have been holding a thing or two there. That's quite a shame because that was a really good-looking run, but that hole was awfully monstrous there. It's hard to get that kind of open hole unless you got 300-pounders or if you're holding like crazy.
Yeah, and this is a very, very talented Norte Vista defense.
Makes it a 1st and 15 as they'll get set back by 5 yards. Back to pass again. Martinez looking to dump out to Ashley to his right. Quickly gets taken care of. Great tackle by C.J. Richardson.
And that's what Norte Vista has. They're really quick on the outside, on the edge. And the secondary really, really quick and smart. The defensive coordinator, Andy Martinez, does a great job with the Braves defense.
Loss of about 5 or maybe even 5 or 6 on that. Going to make it a 2nd and long, about a 2nd and 22, if you will. So the Terriers, unfortunately, with a flag from a previous run there by Ashley, sets them back into the hole, and it looks like it's going to be a keeper by Martinez. He can't find any daylight and will just scamper out of bounds.
Well, that was one thing his brother did so well, if you recall, when he was the quarterback at Centennial and Nebraska. He was able to get out of the pocket and really could make he was, the prototypical quarterback that the NFL wants. He could run out of the pocket and gain yards. Very, very talented athlete.
About the same size as his brother. He stands at 6 foot, 165 pounds. I know his brother weighed in a few more lbs there, but nonetheless kind of the same stature for the Martinez brothers. 3rd and long here now for the Terriers of Redlands. High snap. Toss out. Catch is made. And they'll get wrestled down short of the original line of scrimmage. That is Julian Scarborough, your freshman wide receiver, making the catch, but it will come well short of any first down.
But see, I like what Redlands is doing. They're trying to get their playmakers in open space, because really, if you're going to go up the middle against Novi, you better have a giant offensive line. But if you get your athletes in open space, you can maybe go one-on-one versus that defense.
Looks like we may have had another penalty going on here, so that advances the football.
So an automatic first down, so that must have been a personal foul of some sort.
Okay, so 1st down and 10 now. Terriers will operate at their own 46-yard line, so they get a little bit of life. Another high snap. Martinez looking, takes it, and immediately gets wrestled down. Your receiver is Jacob Marion.
And then once again, trying to get those skilled guys in open space.
Martinez is trying to get himself into some sort of rhythm, which you can see he has the potential to do something here if he's given kind of the open receiver.
The only problem is Norte Vista likes to blitz a lot, and he's going to be throwing on his back feet quite a bit if those big offensive linemen can't keep him safe.
You can see that he's been rushed pretty significantly so far in this football game, so it makes it now a 2nd and 10 scenario here for the Terriers. They're going to look over to the sidelines to the OC to maybe mix this play up a little bit. Well, looks like they're going to take a timeout, so maybe they just were not completely sure what they wanted to do on this type of scenario, as the clock will stop at 5:11. The Braves leading this one by a score of 7-0. As we mentioned, they stand right now at a perfect 3-0 record, but the collision course that we're all expecting is Norte Vista against Ramona in a few weeks here.
I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody realized how good Ramona would be this season. I mean, Coach Ken Mashinsky has done a great job since Vinny Fazio left, and really changed the culture. Ramona was a dominant factor in the late, in the 80s and 90s. They were so good, and they kind of lost their way there for a bit.
Right.
But Mashinsky has those kids believing they can win. And I'll tell you, half the battle is if your kids believe that they can win, sometimes that works.
That is probably more than 50% of the battle right there.
The buy-in is really high at Ram High, and that will be a great one.
It'll be a great matchup. We'll have it here on Riverside TV. 2nd down and 10 situation. A little bit of a high snap. Martinez under pressure is going to get sacked.
And there's another penalty, and I believe this is going to be against Novi again.
Wow. Victor Maui Ong made the tackle, but it looks like that could get negated here. Let's see what the flag might be about. Actually looks like Carvajal was the one to make the initial hit. So they do get pushed back, about 10 yards or so. So it makes it a 3rd and long, almost a 3rd and 20 scenario. So I guess there was no flag on the play. But Carvajal just came in like a madman to make that tackle. Martinez looking long and almost picked off. Dominic Garcia had a short handle on it and unfortunately couldn't rein it in.
You know what? As I like to say from time to time, it hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands.
Yeah, just to give him a little bit of credit, you can see him backing up on his heels there, and he was just about falling back completely flat on his back with a football in the air. I think he just maybe got a little too excited that it was coming so easily his way. Let's take another look here. There you see.
Well, he could have been like a center fielder and lost it in the lights. We'll just say that. That'll make it feel better.
Give him that excuse. Kind of a short punt is going to take the football inside of the 30-yard line, and that's where the Braves will operate with a first down and 10. Clock stopped at 4:26 early here in the first quarter. J.R. Ibarra along with Jeff Gorham bringing you all the action here on Riverside TV. And a very pleasant night for football. Nice little breeze in the air. It's great to have everybody back in the stands compared to our spring season where we had limited capacity here at Zach Erb Stadium. So first down and 10, ball's right at the 29. Carvajal gets the toss. Boy, he's going to get wrestled by a whole gaggle of Terriers on that one.
So what would we call a group of Terriers? Would it be a
pack?
A pack, yeah, I guess it
a
would be a
pack
pack.
of Terriers.
A pack of But are little Terriers?
You know,
that doesn't sound very menacing.
It's interesting. Yeah, exactly. That was kind of my initial thought, too. As the toss goes back this time, I believe your ball carrier was Demarion Richardson.
There's got to be a Terrier that's kind of like deviant or tough.
Well, you see their mascot, and it looks bigger than your normal Terrier. So I don't know if there's a certain breed that we're not aware of, because I know my initial thought is a Terrier is kind of a smaller canine.
Like something my grandmother would have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but it's not that we're making fun.
No, I just want to know.
Yeah.
I'm an inquiring mind.
Inquiring minds want to know. Third down, looks like a 3rd and 7 situation as Carvajal, as your ball carrier, is going to run out of bounds and makes a nice stiff arm, but it'll be short. Flag on the play. Wonder if we have ourselves a face mask.
Let's see here.
Taking another look at this one. As Carvajal rolls out. Yeah, looks like they might have.
Personal foul?
Wow. So that'll back up the Braves. So it's kind of the Achilles heel against their game with Claremont a couple of weeks ago, where there's just so many penalties and so many mental mistakes that I know Coach Batdorf was really frustrated with.
He was, and he should have been.
Yeah.
I made fun of him for only scoring 7 points. I said, that's not a Ken Batdorf team. Who was that guy out there that was coaching that night?
Backs up the Braves about 10 yards. It'll be a 3rd down and 20 scenario. Will they put it in the air?
No.
Very likely not. Eddie Lane, your ball carrier, scampers out to his right, has some daylight, hurdles one defender, takes the ball just shy of the first down marker. So it's a pickup of about 19 on that carry.
Yeah, as we said that, no, you have Eddie Elaine just jump over a couple guys. And
let's take a second look at this. Boy, you see the speed of Elaine. Nice hurdle of the defender.
It's like a triple jump. That was a long jumper right there.
That was nice. Actually, it looks like more of a pickup of 17, and the Braves are looking at a 4th and short. Up the middle is your ball carrier this time, as the ball's taken in for a first down, but it is Isaiah Chamal, your ball carrier.
And that's the one kid that we didn't see in the previous game on Riverside TV. He was out with an injury, so it's good to see Chamal, one of those guys that just another weapon that Ken has in his back pocket.
That's what's so great as you see some of the stats here for the Braves of Norte Vista. Even though Eddie Elaine is the dominant running back, you'll see a long list of names at the running back position as the toss goes back to Carvajal. Keeps the feet moving. Looks like he might have picked up 5 on the carry. Clock is rolling at 2:07 here in the first. Braves with that 7-0 lead. So it'll be a 2nd and 5 scenario. Elaine in motion, gets the toss. Ooh, gets tangled up right beyond the line of scrimmage. Might be a gainer of 1. Well, we'll give him 2 on the carry. It'll be a 3rd and short scenario. Man, I'm smelling some good food around here someplace.
Yeah, it's the first time I've smelled food at a football game because, before they were selling food and it was like it was packaged just candy.
Right. They're out there cooking on the barbecue tonight, so
Yeah,
it smells pretty good.
It smells pretty darn delicious.
Nice to have things back into some kind of normalcy here. 3rd and short, Carvajal in motion, back to pass. Garcia looking out to his left. Has a wall of Terriers looking at him, and he's going to get wrestled out of bounds right at about the 41-yard line. So it'll be a loss on the play.
I was going to make a bet with you, JR. I was, because we smelled the food, and I was thinking my bet was, because I know you like to stop and get a burrito and stuff on the way home.
Absolutely.
And we don't tell our wives. We just stop and get food. But I was going to say over or under 5 passes tonight, and then whoever wins has to buy each other a burrito next time we work together.
I'm good with that. I'll tell you what. I will say 6 tosses
Ooh,
tonight. So
I'm going to go under.
We have 1.
I'm going to go under.
We
under
have
5.
1.
No, did we throw one?
Well,
no.
That's true. That was not an official attempt.
No, and we're not because I want a burrito, buddy.
Clock is stopped at 4:10.
Yeah, gambling is illegal in the state of Kansas. Only if you're using money, though.
Well, we're talking burritos. We're talking
burritos.
Miguel's Jr. here.
Oh, yeah.
A
garbage burrito. Do you like those things?
Actually, I'm more of a simple bean and cheese kind of guy.
Really?
To me, Miguel's Jr. is the number 1 bean and cheese around Southern California.
They do have fine beans.
They do.
Wonderful beans.
It's like my wife just makes fun of me because I'm always going to Miguel's Jr. for lunch and stuff. So
you better stop doing that.
I know I have to.
They get they still have the orange whip or the orange.
Yeah,
bang?
they do the orange.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah. Great place, nice local eatery out of the Corona area.
That's right.
So it looks like on a 4th and 8 situation, the Braves are looking to put this one as Garcia is your ball carrier, has some daylight. Ooh, looks like there might be a masking on that one, and yeah, there is. He picks up enough yardage for the first down, and they're going to add some to it as one of the Terriers decided to grab onto the face mask. In fact, that almost lunged him forward another yard or 2.
I think he got some of his flow, his hair, too. Look at this. I think he got some of his locks. He's going to have to donate that to Locks of Love. I think he gets yanked right out.
Well, you can see the grab right there. So the face masking is the call. So this will take a 4th and long situation. So with a gainer and the penalty to add yardage to it, this will push the football inside of the 20, right at about the 18 here with a first down and 10.
Yeah, if I had hair like that, I would stuff it in my helmet. I don't want my hair getting
It would
pulled
just
out.
be nice to have hair.
Yeah, it would be wonderful. I don't have anything.
I haven't seen anything in a few years on myself here.
I haven't seen anything since my 20s. It grows great on my back, though. It grows fantastic there.
Yeah, it tends to grow out of my ears with no problem. First down and 10, ball's at the 18. Garcia once again looks like, I don't know if he shoveled it off to Carvajal or not, but I think that'll be the last play here of the first quarter as time will expire and the Braves will go into the second quarter threatening right at about the 11-yard line here as we move ourselves into the second quarter play.
Well, if you're Norte Vista, you got to be happy. I mean, you ran the ball like you were supposed to. You ate up a lot of clock. You have a nice 7-0 lead. But you know what? You know what the big thing is for me right now? Because I'm having a hard time cleaning out my garage. I got all this trash.
Yeah, same
I got
here.
all these things, and my wife is yelling at me saying, "Can you please just clean the garage?"
Yeah.
So you know what? Caltrans is partnering with the city of Riverside to collect the public's trash and unwanted items tomorrow from 9 to 3 p.m. No hazardous waste, no paint, no solvents, no batteries, home remodel or demo waste, electronics, flammables, petroleum products, aerosols, or compressed gases. All loads must be tied or secured or they won't be accepted. The event will be held at Caltrans Maintenance Station located at 1091 Everton Place in Riverside, 92507. It's free dump day. But my only question is, I listed all of these darn things, and every single one of them, I mean, what else am I going to? I'm going to throw away just cardboard.
Yeah, really.
I don't even know what I know petroleum. I'm always thinking like petroleum jelly, stuff I rub on when I have blisters. I can't throw that away. Aerosols, my hair. I have a lot of hairspray that I haven't used in years.
Got a whole
can't throw that
collection.
away either.
Second, and we'll call it 2nd and 9 here for the Braves. Toss goes back to Elaine. A little bit of daylight right through the middle. Scampers inside of the 5. He's still stacked up where they finally wrestle him down. Looks like it'll be close to a first down here. Early here in the second quarter play. There you see Elaine on the toss back, and whoa, looks like he's right at that first down, or just shy by about a foot here. So it'll be a 3rd and a short yard here for the Braves. They are threatening, though, with the football inside of the 5-yard line. And we've got whistles and maybe a timeout here on the field. So the Terriers wanted to take a look at what the formation will be here for the Braves of Norte Vista. Decided to take a timeout and try to resize what they will do defensively here to try to stop the Braves, which has been really tough for them to do so far in this football game.
You put 11 in the box and you just say don't let them run.
Yeah.
That's as easy. That's the only thing you can say.
I mean,
Ken's not going to run anything too different. He's not going to throw. If he does, though, he's got to throw. He's got to throw more than 5.
Well, it's funny. He was joking with us because we had a little bit of a rain shower about a couple of hours ago.
That's right.
And Batdorf said that would curtail his passing game tonight.
They said the balls are going to be wet now.
So he's deciding not to pass
That's
tonight.
exactly what he told us, isn't it?
As if that was a big surprise.
That's funny.
So far, the weather hasn't played any kind of factor. I didn't see any kind of puddling on the field there, so I think everything got drained out pretty significantly. So 3rd and short here for the Braves. Football inside of the 5-yard line. Carvajal, actually the give is going to go right off tackle and looks like a touchdown. Chamal on the carry.
I guess he got
a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I'm not seeing a signal by the refs.
Yes, I don't understand. Maybe one of them thinks they have to do. Somebody has to signal it.
Look,
Someone. Not one person signaled
Nobody
that.
in Zebra Stripes has given us an indication so far. So Chamal comes up with the touchdown, makes it 13-0. They're looking to do the extra point up on the way. There we see a good. Now they're showing the arms.
I'm going to have to text the white hat, Matty Ariano, and say, hey.
Have a conversation with Matt there to see what the deal is.
So what do you guys?
Is this a new thing in refereeing here?
Nobody's told us.
They forgot to tell us about it.
Got to let us know. This is TV. We got to see somebody scoring.
So early here in the second quarter of plays, the Braves of Norte Vista with a nice 14-0 lead, and to no surprise, they've kept it primarily on the ground. We're still rooting for some passes here, so we could possibly come up with a Miguel's Jr. burrito.
Yeah, you're going to lose that bet.
I think I am. This is not looking good so far.
I can't wait for my burrito, my friend.
Martinez on the kickoff. Going to go to Ashley, takes it right at about his own 12, has a little bit of daylight, but we have a flag in the air. That's probably going to come back with some holding here. That's a shame because that's a pretty decent run back here for the Terriers.
Well, he's fun to watch. He's electric. Quick little guy.
He's a good little kid. I mean, and he is small, as we mentioned. But nonetheless, the inappropriate flags at the wrong time have been the Achilles heel. Or is this against Norte Vista?
It would be a strange call if it's against Novi. Normally it's a block, and it is.
It looks like it is. Interesting.
Usually on those kickoffs, it's like a block in the back or a hold.
Exactly. So this will push the football right to midfield. This gives the Terriers a great opportunity to try to put something up on the scoreboard. They know how to score. I mean, they had a very big game against Citrus Hill a couple of weeks ago with a score of 41-0. That's their lone win on the season so far. Martinez from the gun, looking out to his left, going to get hurried. Has a bit of daylight, tosses it out, and bobbled. And it looks like we're going to get another flag on this one. Ryan Miller was your intended receiver, but he got belted by Isaac Gaines, and unfortunately, I think Isaac's going to get tagged for the penalty here.
The question is it? Hopefully, it's not a targeting because that that right now is being.
That is a big thing.
Let's see in the hit here.
Oh, he could get called for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna. Let's see. Hopefully, it's not an ejection.
They sent
believe it.
They sent it to the side.
I think that might have been an ejection.
Yeah, I think so. So a targeting call, personal foul.
I don't see that he's had to leave the field, so that's good. Maybe not an ejection, but maybe they just sat him out.
I know they sent him to the sidelines, and he looks rather frustrated. So Gaines, unfortunately, making the late hit and the target on the play. But this will push the football forward right to about the 35 of Norte Vista. Gives some breathing room and daylight here for the Terriers. Martinez, high snap. Going to get pushed again and brought down by the shoulder pads. Will be a loss on the play of close to 10 yards. So defensively, the Braves have really put the pressure on Martinez all night, and they finally come up with another sack on the play. Oh, looks like there's another flag that was thrown. I didn't notice. That one was against the Terriers for holding, and obviously gets declined by Norte Vista. Second and long. Looks like more of a 2nd and 22 scenario as the clock is rolling with 10:44 here in the second quarter of play. Martinez once again from the gun. That's where he's been primarily getting things set offensively. Dumps it out very quickly. It is caught, but it will be actually a loss on the reception. So nobody from the Braves was fooled on that one.
No. You notice a lot of these players from Nova, you're playing both ways. Carvajal,
right.
Elaine. They better be in good shape.
I tell you what. What's interesting, you see some of the defensive stats here for Norte Vista, and both Elaine and Carvajal are the two leading tacklers on the team as well. So here they are putting yardage offensively, and then also putting the hit to the offensive squad on the other team as well. Third and really long here for the Terriers. Ball's at the 46. Kind of a tough snap under some pressure once again. Martinez looking to get some yardage and pushes it past the line of scrimmage. Pickup of about 3, but well short of any kind of first down marker as he takes it right to about the 42.
I'll tell you what, Martinez didn't see this, but he had a guy coming right at him. Beeline got away from him. I don't think he saw him. But a good slide there to be safe.
Arian Tupoa, or I have a hard time with that name. Tupoa?
Arian Tupo, I think.
Tupo.
Well, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, you can tell me on Monday.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear from probably his parents sometime soon. So we'll call Tupo as the man who was putting the pressure there on Martinez. This will bring up a 4th and punting situation here for the Terriers. Elaine once again back as one of your intended receivers. Ball's going to bounce. Bounce backwards to the 21, and the Terriers will touch it there, and that's where the Braves will operate with a first down and 10.
And I was making fun of Ken because for a while there he wasn't putting anybody back to return. I said,
that's right.
I said, you're not giving yourself a shot to score some points. You just put nothing back there. So you got pretty dynamic ball carriers. Put those guys in there.
That's right. There was that game. It was against Claremont, I believe, where we saw nobody in the back.
Knock it off there, Ken. Give us a chance.
So the Braves once again operating with a first down and 10. Looks like Carvajal is your man in the backfield here for the Braves, and it looks like we may have a timeout taken by the Terriers of Redlands. Actually, it looks like Jamal is lined up in the backfield. Really interesting note here for Redlands. They've been part of the Citrus Belt League since 1906.
What?
1906. They were one of the charter members of the Citrus Belt League and have been there ever since. That's an astounding statistic.
Yeah, why don't you just name it the Redlands League? I mean, for gosh sakes, the Citrus Belt League has been around forever. See, another little tidbit a lot of people don't realize is, there's a great basketball coach in Hall of Fame, late great Jerry Tarkanian.
Yes.
Jerry Tarkanian started out as a football coach at Redlands High School.
I was actually not aware of that.
He was a PE coach and coached football. That's how he
Wow.
could get into coaching. And then he goes from over there to Riverside City College, wins a couple state championships. But yeah, he used to be the football coach at Redlands. They probably weren't very good, but they probably ran a lot,
Probably
scored
ran
a lot.
like crazy,
Yeah.
I'm sure. First down and 10 scenario here. Pitch is going to go back to Elaine. Makes a spin move. Looks like there might have been a mask, but doesn't get called. He's going to get wrestled down maybe a yard if they're generous. Actually, it looks like they're going to spot it as a loss of a yard. Second and 11. Clock running at 8:06 here in the second quarter play. Great to have you along with us here via Riverside TV. J.R. Ibarra along with Jeff Corum bringing you all the action. Second and 11. Elaine once again. Actually, the keeper is by Garcia. He's looking out to his left. Straight arms one guy is going to get wrestled down. Actually still on his feet. Takes the football maybe for a pickup of one, almost 2 yards on the carry. So not sure if that was a broken play or not, but Garcia decides to do the keeper. Boy, he runs nearly 20 yards laterally, but only picks up 2 on the carry. So brings up a third and long, 3rd and 9 scenario here for the Braves of Norte Vista. Homecoming night here for the Braves.
Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces.
As we mentioned, you'll have a chance to converse with Frank Corral, one of the greats out of the Braves football history here. 3rd and long. Give is to Elaine. Boy, has no daylight. He's going to get stacked up. So defensively, the Terriers have kind of figured things out, maybe just a little bit defensively, because the Braves have had nothing on this series.
They've made adjustments, and I tell you what, maybe it's watching film of the playbook, but Elaine just can't get outside.
Boy, look at all the white jerseys. One of the tacklers is Donovan McMartin. He's one of the big kids here on the block for the Terriers of Redlands. In fact, he's being really touted as their top defensive player for Redlands. So it's a punting scenario here for the Braves. Ooh, takes a bounce in favor of the Terriers. Lamar Ashley was back to receive, but it's going to fall out of bounds and get spotted inside of the 50-yard line here for the Terriers.
Coach Baddorf can't be too happy with that. I know he's not a big fan of punting the football.
No, he normally doesn't have to do these things, but this gives another opportunity for the Terriers. This is the thing. They've been given some good opportunities as far as field position here.
Yes, they have.
It's a matter of just trying to execute and get themselves some yardage and possibly get themselves something into the end zone here. So Martinez, as always, in the gun with a spread formation here for the Terriers. Going to send Ashley as a single setback. High snap. Play action. Rolls out to his right. Has an open receiver, and it is dropped. Boy, that should have been caught.
That was a tough one. Could have had a first down there. He grabbed that ball.
Jacob Marion was your intended receiver. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound junior. Nice play action move here by the Terriers.
And they aren't getting receivers in open space. They're just not making the plays.
Wow, that's a ball that should have been caught. Unfortunately, it looks like he was already trying to make the turn and move up the field there, but unfortunately that cost him.
Made his move before he caught the football.
Exactly. 2nd down and 10's your scenario. Clock stopped at 6:09. Martinez looking to his right once again, and in the dirt. Was it caught? I believe it was. Marion, your receiver here, will pick up about a yard. So not much of a pickup here for the Terriers as they look at a 3rd and 9 scenario. Short passes is definitely what they need to do, especially in light of all the pressure he's getting defensively here by the Braves. So Terriers looking things over to their offensive coordinator. Ashley, your lone setback. Almost dropped. Nice toss and almost picked off. There was a little bit of wrestling going on. I'm surprised we didn't see any kind of flag down there. Your intended receiver was number 3 for Redlands, which I do not have on the roster. But your defender is Isaac Gaines.
A tough one, and Gaines wants that one back as well. I mean, that's...
Look at all the wrestling that's happening there, but Gaines almost had a handle on it. And we have a player down on the field here for the Terriers of Redlands. Stops the clock at 5:13 here in the 2nd quarter of play. Homecoming night for the Braves of Norte Vista. Don't see a number of who's down on the field.
Hopefully it's just a cramp. I mean, I'm telling you what, it was hot today. It was 90 plus, and then all of a sudden the clouds came in. It got muggy.
Very muggy.
I was wearing like 4 different shirts. I was sweating like a beast.
Still tending to the player. I don't see any kind of number as of yet. And
it's like number 56.
56, I believe, is the number. That would be Josh Ramirez Rios. And he's going to get helped off the field. It looks like he's nursing something in one of the legs there.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
That does not look very good, actually. So Ramirez Rios getting helped off of the field. Very gingerly. You know, getting back to some of that Citrus Belt League history, as we mentioned, the Terriers of Redlands entering the Citrus Belt at 1906, and they won their first championship in rugby in 1909.
I was going to ask, is Citrus Belt, is this pre-Civil War or rugby? I didn't know they played rugby.
I didn't know there was rugby, but of course this is way back in the day.
Man alive.
Almost talking 100 years ago, which is just astounding. Man, 100 years is...
That's over 100 years. 100.
It's just
like 112 years.
Well, it's just under 100.
Oh. Riverside Poly's been around since 1887.
No, I take that back. That is more than 100.
That's 100. That's
excuse
112.
me. Shows you my mathematics. Hey. Don't depend on me for any kind of math, folks. Ball carrier on the play is Jaden Woods. I was never good at math.
That's what, you know what, my grandfather was born in 1906.
Oh, I know.
Man.
My dear grandfather entered the United States in 1918.
Yeah, see, we're about the same. Mine came over in 1906.
Yeah.
They could have played at Redlands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my grandpa back in the... I'm sorry, that's really funny, though. Yeah, Norte Vista's been, Norte Vista's the second oldest high school in Riverside. Did you know that?
What year was that established?
60 years ago or something like that. But I know it was second. Started off as a junior high school and then became a high school.
And Batdorf has been here for half of those years.
No, he's been here the whole time. When they broke, he was the first.
He was here when they broke ground.
Yeah, he was the guy with the shovel. And when they opened the school, he had that. He had the scissors and cut that big tape.
I'm sure once he sees a replay of this, he'll have a word with us sometime thereafter.
I hope so. I'll talk to him tonight, I'm sure.
So first down and 10. Ball spotted right at the 46-yard line of Norte Vista. Carvajal, your lone setback. Will he throw the football?
No.
I'm just kind of hoping. Give is to Carvajal, has some daylight. Looks like he'll pick up a first down quite easily, and it looks like a total gainer of about 15. Nice run by Jesse Carvajal.
Yeah, and I'm curious to know with this homecoming if they're gonna have like floats and stuff, but I don't see floats anywhere.
No,
I'm
not sure. Maybe not.
Maybe I still hope they have the homecoming queen. They got to do that.
You would hope so. So pick up a first down. Ball spotted right at the 40. Alain in motion. Give goes right up the gut.
Great defense there.
Carvajal is your carrier once again. Will maybe gain a yard or so. So it's a 2nd and 9 scenario here for the Braves. Micah Gaines coming out of the ball game, and Isaac Gaines coming in for him.
No relation. I thought they were for a long time until I said, "You guys are the two best brothers I've seen here in a while." And they go, "We're not brothers, Coach.
We're not even related.
We're not related at all." I barely know him.
Who is this guy
Yeah.
anyway?
Got the same last name, but I don't know who he is.
2nd and 9 scenario. The toss goes back to Carvajal. Looking out to his right, has some daylight. Takes the ball to the 30, 25, and still on his feet as he takes it inside of the 15. Nice carry by Carvajal.
That's the style of football we're used to with Novi.
Yep, that is definitely you send out the big guns, and Carvajal takes advantage of that with a nice pickup and a first down with the ball spotted right at about the 15. Clock is rolling at 3:30 remaining here in the first half. Carvajal once again your lone setback. Back to pass. Can you believe it? And picked off. Some daylight, and Garcia wrestles down the defender. So on his lone pass, he gets it picked off.
Well, that's one.
So that's one attempt.
That was a great interception,
That's
though.
a nice interception. Jaden Woods comes up as your defensive back, only 5'8", 170 pounds, and he comes up with the rock. So the lone...
They're not going to throw again.
Probably not. So it looks like neither of us are going to win this one.
Well, he threw 10 passes in the first half the other day against Linfield Christian.
That's almost a school record, I would imagine.
That is a school record. It's going to hold for his next 100 years as coach.
First down and 10 scenario. Clock stopped at 3:16. Martinez under pressure, dumps it out to his right, and Ashley takes the football for a gain, not even of a yard. Did I see a flag down on the play as well?
Oh, that was a big hit, though.
That was a pretty significant hit. I don't know if we're going to get another personal foul. Yeah, we are. Another personal foul. Yeah, as another targeting call. So that'll push it up the field for 15 yards.
That's something you can't do. I mean, if good teams, you can't. You might be winning the football game, but you make plays like that in a close game. That in the playoffs or league, that could really hurt you.
Yeah.
I know Coach Batdorf's not real happy right now, and neither is his defensive coordinator Andy Martinez.
I mean, it's bad enough to get it once, but you get it twice in the game. That's not a good thing.
No. Just got to learn to tackle. Just grab the guy and grab him.
So makes it a first down and 10 scenario here for the Terriers of Redlands.
See, if I played football now, I would have had those big giant helmets like Don Beebe had. Remember that big giant helmet the guy from Buffalo used to wear? Remember that big old helmet? I'd wear that thing. I'd look like a bobblehead, but my head would be safe.
Clock inside of 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. 1st and 10 scenario for the Terriers of Redlands. Let's see if they can kind of capitalize on this. Got a man open. Catch is made. Unfortunately, slipping on the turf is Jacob Marion making the reception. Picks up about 6 on the reception. Makes it a 2nd and long 4. Take another look at this one. Nice dump out by Martinez. Unfortunately, Marion just kind of slipped on the turf there. Clock still rolling. Now ahead in the 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Terriers need to kind of maybe hurry things up here if they want to put something up onto the scoreboard before they head into halftime. Give to Ashley. Scampers for a couple of yards and close to a first down. Just shy by about a foot.
Are we going to see the chain gang? I haven't seen a chain gang all season yet. Nobody's come out.
There's been no kind of measurement. Actually, they're going to push it back. It looks like it was going to be a foot to go. Actually, it looks like we might get a measurement.
We are. We're going to see the chain gang.
We'll see the chain gang. Ask and you shall receive.
Man, those guys. What's that song? Remember the chain gang song? That's the sound of the man working on the chain gang. That was my singing just for you.
Thank you.
Just for you.
Thank you. Now back to more great music with Jeff Gorham.
The chain gang. Look at those guys.
Oh, they got the first down.
They get paid the big bucks.
So the measurement does significantly help the Terriers of Redlands here. But the clock is stopped at 1:44, and they've got some yards they need to pick up here in order to try to put something onto the scoreboard. So first down and 10. Ball spotted right at about the 46.5. Ashley going in motion. Toss goes to Ashley. Looking for some daylight. He's going to get wrapped up for a loss of about 4, maybe 5 yards on the carry. Fortunately, that just did not formulate according to their plan.
It looked cool until the end.
Did.
I like plays like that. But, honestly, you got to be happy if you're Redlands. I mean, you're only down 14-0 against, a Norte Vista team. Has such a potent offense. And, we're talking about a team that could easily put up, 40-plus every game of the week.
Right.
Redlands has to be happy. If they can go into halftime only down 14-0, if they can possibly get a score, they've got to be really, really excited for that second half.
In a strange way, they have held their own.
They've done a great
in this
job.
game, even though they're trailing by 14. Clock is rolling inside of 40 seconds, so they need to get things rolling here pretty quick. They're going to have to send something down the field, maybe long. High toss on the snap. Looking long this time. Almost picked off. Looks like he was intending it to get to Jacob Marion. And that'll stop the clock with 29 seconds before we head into halftime.
Halftime, we're going to have Frank Corral up here. We're going to talk a little about his career in the city of Riverside and his NFL playing days with the Los Angeles Rams. My dad used to take me to games just so we could see Frank.
Well, looks like we had a flag on the play.
And another
And
one that moves the stick, so they can't be happy with that one either.
So this will push the football. First down and 10. High snap. Martinez trying to grab it, looking down long, under some pressure, is going to get pushed out of bounds for a loss of about a yard on the play. That'll Thought that would stop the clock, but no, he didn't make it out of bounds. So the clock, it looks like it just might expire unless they can get a snap off. They're out of timeouts here in the first half. And don't think they're going to get a playoff here. So that will expire on the clock here and take us to halftime. So the Norte Vista Braves, as usual, have kept it on the ground, chewed up a lot of turf, and they lead this contest by a score of 14-0. So in just a few moments, Jeff is going to have a conversation with Frank Corral.
And we're going to have him come back and tell you what, this is a pretty good ball game we have here on Riverside TV.
It is a decent game.
It should be nice. Well, we are going to take a short break, I believe. We're going to come back, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, so let's step aside for this short break. You're watching all the action here on Riverside TV.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431.
And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right.
The Riverside County Transportation Commission has partnered with California Operation Lifesaver to educate Riverside County residents about how to be safe around trains and railroad tracks. Here are 3 safety facts you need to know. First, trespassing on train tracks is not only dangerous and can lead to serious injury, it is also illegal. Second, you may not always be able to hear a train coming, which is why it's important to always stay off and away from tracks. And finally, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a complete stop. If an object or person is on the tracks and the train can't stop in time, unfortunately, a collision may occur. Now that you're the expert, you can help us spread the word by sharing these important safety messages with your friends and family. We thank you for practicing rail safety.
We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
My name is Melissa Olmos, and I'm a driver operator in the Department of Refuse for the City of Riverside, and I've been doing this for 4 months already. I really enjoy it because this job is not like a routine, so every day is different. So I'm assigned to do the bookings. The residents call to the city to be serviced, and these items is large furniture, mattress, and appliance. The residents, they have 2 times a year, and these items, I put it in the back of the packer, and the packer crashes and compact these items so I can take it to the dump. My favorite part of the job is driving the truck. Since I was younger, my dream was to be a driver. And now that the City of Riverside gave me this opportunity, I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of what I do because when I go to the residents' houses, I see the faces, they're happy because we're picking up the items they don't want anymore. So I try to get in here because this is a better job for me with a better stability. And I wanted to because I want to set a good example for my 2 daughters that I have. One of my hobbies that I have is go hiking. I like the outside activities like camping, and I also enjoy riding motorcycles. If I have to describe my job in one word, it will be perfect.
And welcome back to Norte Vista High School on Homecoming here on Riverside TV. I'm Jeff Gorham. I'm now joined by one of my childhood heroes, one of my favorite people in the world, and that is Frank Corral. Frank, you are a graduate of Norte Vista High School. When did you graduate? Let's tell the folks out in Riverside.
I graduated in 1973 from Norte Vista.
Yeah, in fact, I think I've known you. I've known you my entire life, 50 years.
Absolutely. You were running around in diapers with your brother as your dad, my coach, Coach Gorham. We were conducting practice Saturdays, during the week, and so I saw you quite a bit.
Yeah, and we have stayed in touch over the years, and I will say this, as a kid, you were my first NFL player that I ever got to meet, and every time I saw you, it was a big deal. I remember my dad going, "It's just Frank." I remember when he was a little kid. It's just Frank. But no, it's really nice having you back here at Norte Vista High School, and maybe you can kind of go back to the time you were here and tell us what made you growing up here in Arlanda and coming out of the city, becoming as successful as you were. Tell us a little bit about growing up here in the city of Riverside.
It's really nice coming out of a small community. And it's extra nice when you have the support. I graduated from Norte Vista. I went to Riverside Community College, and that was a good little 2-year stay. And then, of course, UCLA. But I've always been rooted here. My mom passed away a couple years back, and so we just sold her home. And it just feels like home when I pass by here, go around the areas. And earlier, my wife and I were talking about it, and I told her we used to pick up cow chips from that field before we went to practice. Coach would have us, because there were cattle here. There was no homes out there.
I remember this.
And so we would pick up the cow chips and resume practice.
That's right.
And so I was mentioning that to my wife. She goes, "You're kidding me." I said, "No, it brings back those memories."
Yeah, and I can go back, and my friend was Nate DeFrancisco over at RCC, and I was a ball boy and at the time with the football. And I tell people this: you used to kick the football out of the darn stadium, and people go, "No way!" I go, "No, you kick it out of the stadium," and it was a regular thing. It was, but you were the most amazing kicker I had ever seen in my life. You could kick it a country mile, kick it over a mountain if you like. But you had a brother, Eddie, was a great kicker.
My younger brother, Eddie, went on to San Diego State, and he was a great kicker. I think he may have tied my record or broke it, and he was. But he was more of a baseball player. So
yes.
When he got into college and everything else, that's all he wanted to do was play baseball.
Yeah.
So, but he was a great kicker.
Yeah, and if I recall, you were a 4-sport athlete here at Norte Vista. You played soccer, you played basketball, football, and was it track that you did as well?
Well, I did track, but I also played tennis.
That's right. It was tennis. That's right.
And I'm thinking, Coach Barham, he only needed a body. That's probably why he recruited me.
Yeah.
But I had him in biology, and he goes, "You ought to try out for tennis," And I went out there one day. I liked it. He showed me so many things to the point where to this day, I still watch tennis because of that.
Yeah, Coach Barham, he's still right. Small world.
Oh, my goodness, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's always great to come back, sitting here with you, just all these memories are flashing up, the gym, the bleachers we pull out and pull back in.
Yeah.
The ropes we had there to climb, remember, and then the old mats against the wall.
Exactly.
I took a little tour the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, and I looked around and I said, wow, amazing. We've come a long way.
It has. Remember, the library was
Absolutely.
the gym.
Absolutely.
And they had the big posts in the middle of the gym. And if you sat in the wrong spot, you couldn't watch the game.
No, it is. Norte Vista is it's ingrained in me because it gave me my start. It gave me my appreciation for football. I hadn't played tackle football since we moved to Riverside. We played flag in Los Angeles because there was no dirt, there was no grass, it was all asphalt.
Yeah.
So we had to play flag football. And not too long ago, we went back and ran into some old buddies that when we were playing Sandlot. In fact, they're going to be joining me for the Rams-Buccaneers game.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so
that's
it's
great.
going to be a great game. But anyways, that's how far it goes. And again, we lost contact when we moved to Riverside, and it was great running back into them.
Well, before we get into the NFL stuff, I want to get back a little bit more into the Riverside. You had a great playing career, but you've stayed really within Riverside. You've done a lot. I think you worked with the graffiti program for a number of years, and you and I have crossed paths. I've seen you feeding elderly people. I mean, you've done so much for the city of Riverside. Tell the audience what you did. for the city?
Well, in 1989, they had a program, and what I did was I went to the city council and I asked them, well, when you get rid of the graffiti, what do? They go, well, we just paint it out. I said, but what if surfaces don't need to be painted? They're virgin surfaces. So we went through that. They said, well, why don't you come and help us out and tell me what. So long story short, I started that program with City of Riverside, and then we moved it into doing the volunteer program with Keep Riverside Clean and Beautiful. And so we did that. We did all the special events at the week for the volunteerism. And then we would do every ward. There's 7 wards. We would do a ward a month. And then I would do the alternative sentencing. Those that cannot pay or the courts order them to contribute back to hard labor, I would run them. And so I did that for 30 years. And then, of course, COVID came, and it was time for me to retire. COVID came, and then the program, school shut down and everything. So they kind of asked me, you want to hang around? I said, you know what, it's time for me to go.
Well, I'll tell you, I still look at you as a young man. I mean, I remember our times going up to RCC. We'd go watch you practice and so forth. But let's get on to your pro career. I know you're still heavily involved with the Rams Legends Association. Are you happy the Rams are back in town? I mean, how wonderful is it?
You know, we were like a lost commodity when they left to St. Louis. The former players, we didn't know what to do. So everybody kind of scattered to their colleges. I went back to UCLA and started supporting my alma mater there. But it was nothing like having a pro team here. And now we got 2.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
It's awesome.
What do you think of the new SoFi Stadium?
Oh, it's amazing. That's all I can say. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's accommodating. It's great for the community over there. It's built up a lot of things. It's going to open up a lot of doors. I'm hoping that they'll come towards the Inland Empire. I'm speaking of the Rams to come in and kind of sponsor some of these kids. Tuesday we were at Roosevelt High School in Los Angeles. We're giving away cleats, and what the title of that program was Cleats for Character. So you'll know those kids are always going to remember those cleats that they got. And so I was talking to Mike Lansford. He graduated here in
Mike Lansford played basketball for my dad as well.
Absolutely. And he gives cleats to these kids. So I asked him, why don't you label it every year that you give these kids, like cleats for character, cleats for whatever you want to put that. And I said, the kids will remember it.
Of course
the kids will remember it.
Well, I remember, and you'll go back to this. I remember when you were playing with the Rams and you brought in like Hacksaw and all those guys, and then it was a basketball game. You played at RCC and you played against all of the area coaches.
Right.
And guys were getting knocked around. All these coaches. My dad was playing a lot of these high school coaches, and I just remember it was amazing. But you guys brought it was a sense of community, and I was always appreciative of that. And I remember filling up Wheelock Gym with the Ram football players. They would play in the off season against these coaches.
Absolutely, and I think that's what these teams are doing now, Jeff, is that they're utilizing the legends, the former players, to go into the community. I guess the new players or the players today, I don't know what the deal is, but I don't see them going out unless they're making commercials and stuff like that. So they're utilizing a lot of the former players to go out in the communities and connect on behalf of the Rams.
Yeah, I remember that my dad said, hey, that guy over there, Hacksaw Reynolds, he took a hacksaw to a car. And I remember watching that game. I was like, man, I'm not going anywhere near that guy. But yeah, and I think now guys wouldn't play because they'd be worried about their contracts and so forth. But Frank, I mean, how fun was it? And let's go back. You got to play in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, you guys didn't win. But I tell you what was that like? I mean, you led the league in scoring. You were an All-Pro. I mean, does it still make you feel great when you go to the games? Is it?
Absolutely. It's just an honor. It's a privilege. And that's what I tell these kids. You don't look at – you set your dreams. Some of these kids, when they asked me down there when I spoke with them, I said, but don't set it so high where you can't achieve it. Set it to a point where it's going to make you struggle. It's going to make you work. But, and that's what happened to me at Norte Vista. And I worked my behind off, Jeff. You don't even know this. I got home after a certain incident. We'll talk about it later. Is I built my own weights in a can of coffee, and I put some cement, stuck a bar in there, and typical little thing you hear in the movies. We did it, myself and Dave Walston, a friend of mine, a former Bruin, and that's how we would work out. We would work out just thinking about it. And then next thing happened, I'm at RCC. Working, putting in the time. Next thing happened, I'm at UCLA. And then I get drafted by the Rams. It was just, the local boy does good. and that's from not just myself, but all the support I've had. Coaches here, coaches at RCC, coaches at UCLA, and we lost a great one in Terry Donahue.
That's right.
You know, he was my coach at UCLA, so we just had his celebration of life not too long ago, and it was just amazing. You know, and just like that. And listen, I have to do this. I have to give kudos to my coach. Coach John Gorham was my favorite coach here at Norte Vista.
That's always nice. He's my favorite guy too. He's you know, my dad. You know, let's pull the curtain back. Dad is not doing so well. He's 82 years old, but I told him today I was going to visit with Frank Corral, and his eyes lit up. And my mom and both my parents think fondly of you. Like I said, you were my childhood hero, and not many guys can say, you know, a kicker was their childhood idol. But honest to goodness,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you've always been so kind to my family. You've been kind to the city of Riverside, and I appreciate everything you've done for this community. And I think everybody needs to thank you back. So I think this is a little way for us to, in the community, to watch this and know that. Frank Corral, you've done such a great job for the city of Riverside.
It's been a pleasure. I mean, this is my city. My wife and I were looking at places to retire. I said, look, we've gone this far here. Where in the heck can we go?
Yeah.
We're not going nowhere anytime soon.
Well, he is Frank Corral, the great class of 1973. I was 3 years old. I can't believe it. That's amazing. One more question for you before we go. If the Rams asked you today, they need you, Frank, I bet you could still go out and do it.
We'd go give it a shot.
Yes, you would. He's Frank Corral. I'm Jeff Gorham. He's the pride of Norte Vista High School and the pride of the city of Riverside, a Super Bowl All-Pro legend, Frank Corral. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back with the second half as the Braves lead 14-0 over the over Redlands High School. Be right back. Riverside TV.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431.
And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right.
The Riverside County Transportation Commission has partnered with California Operation Lifesaver to educate Riverside County residents about how to be safe around trains and railroad tracks. Here are 3 safety facts you need to know. First, trespassing on train tracks is not only dangerous and can lead to serious injury, it is also illegal. Second, you may not always be able to hear a train coming, which is why it's important to always stay off and away from tracks. And finally, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a complete stop. If an object or person is on the tracks and the train can't stop in time, unfortunately, a collision may occur. Now that you're the expert, you can help us spread the word by sharing these important safety messages with your friends and family. We thank you for practicing rail safety.
We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
My name is Melissa Olmos, and I'm a driver operator in the Department of Refuse for the city of Riverside, and I've been doing this for 4 months already. I really enjoy it because this job is not like a routine, so every day is different. So I'm assigned to do the bookings. The residents call to the city to be serviced, and these items is large furniture, mattress, and appliance. The residents, they have 2 times a year, and these items, I put it in the back of the packer, and the packer crashes and compact these items so I can take it to the dump. My favorite part of the job is driving the truck. Since I was younger, my dream was to be a driver. And now that the city of Riverside gave me this opportunity, I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of what I do because when I go to the residents' houses, I see the faces, they're happy because we're picking up the items they don't want anymore. So I try to get in here because this is a better job for me with a better stability. And I want to too because I want to set a good example for my 2 daughters that I have. One of my hobbies that I have is go hiking. I like the outside activities like camping, and I also enjoy riding motorcycles. If I have to describe my job in one word, it will be it's perfect.
Today is our very first building of a Little Free Pantry. We are building a Little Free Pantry in our community. It will be one of the 26 throughout Riverside that will help fill the gaps of food scarcity here in Riverside. Data is telling us now that 1 in 6 families are hungry. It's about 44% of adults and about 50% of children that are hungry here within our own neighborhood, in our own backyard.
Because of the pandemic, there's a lot of hunger out there. There's a lot of families in need, and we hope that this will act as a bridge until families are able to get the food that they need. I think that there are always those times where we are living paycheck to paycheck and we need just a few cans of something to get us by. So these little pantries will serve in that capacity, and we're really excited to see something that will help families in need.
And this has been a wonderful collaboration with the Riverside Mutual Aid Network, IEHP, here at Sandals Church, and the City of Riverside. So this has been a fantastic opportunity for community members to step up and to fill a real void in our city, which is food insecurity. So the idea is that if one of these free little pantries in your neighborhood, you could stock it as frequently or as infrequently as you want to. And the idea behind it is that when people have extra food, it doesn't go to waste.
These pantries are just kind of the first step, right, for reintroducing neighbors back to each other, getting folks involved in taking care of each other again, and just strengthening those community bonds that Riverside is so known for. Because things like food drives and food distributions, they're really good, but they only help folks in that moment of need. And we wanted to create something that would continue giving back 5, 10, 15 years from now, and really allow the community to get back into taking care of each other instead of maybe relying on, just government or nonprofit structures to kind of take care of them.
If others want to follow suit, they can apply at riversideca.gov/cares as an application, or they can email us at neighbor@riversideca.gov to receive an application to host a Little Free Pantry in their neighborhood.
Engine 1 AMR, respond with RPD for a traffic accident with injuries. In 1234 Main, cross of Columbia, 2 vehicles involved.
Each year, the Riverside City Fire Department responds to 40,000 emergency calls.
431.
And the men and women of the Riverside Police Department drive Code 3 every day.
We need your help so you know what to do when you see emergency vehicles.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right.
Pull to the right. So help us help you.
We need you to pull to the right.
The Riverside County Transportation Commission has partnered with California Operation Lifesaver to educate Riverside County residents about how to be safe around trains and railroad tracks. Here are 3 safety facts you need to know. First, trespassing on train tracks is not only dangerous and can lead to serious injury, it is also illegal. Second, you may not always be able to hear a train coming, which is why it's important to always stay off and away from tracks. And finally, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a complete stop. If an object or person is on the tracks and the train can't stop in time, unfortunately, a collision may occur. Now that you're the expert, you can help us spread the word by sharing these important safety messages with your friends and family. We thank you for practicing rail safety.
We are proud of the Riverside Police Department's tradition of integrity, service, and excellence. RPD officers are disciplined, well-trained professionals who always lean forward to make our community safer and more livable. We are always looking for mature, educated men and women who want to apply their courage and judgment to serve the people of Riverside. If that's who you are, we want to talk to you.
And welcome back to Zach Erb Stadium on the campus of Norte Vista High School as we are enjoying this Riverside TV Game of the Week as the Braves of Norte Vista have a 14-0 lead over the Terriers of Redlands. J.R. Ibarra along with Jeff Gorham. Jeff, as we were saying, as we were heading into halftime, even though it's a 14-0 lead by Norte Vista, Redlands has kind of held their own defensively, especially as we got towards the latter parts of the second quarter.
I thought they came out with a great game plan. I mean, they just haven't been able to put scores on the board, but they've stopped this, this potent offense. They've stopped the run pretty much. Eddie Elaine, who normally gets, 200-plus yards a game, they've held him in check for the most part. They've put 10 in the box. They've done everything great defensively. They just haven't put points on the board.
That's one thing that we talked with head coach Mike, I forgot his name. Mike McFarland. I had to look at my notes. I was going to call him Mike McCarty. Mike McFarland of the Terriers of Redlands, the head coach, he said definitely the key for tonight was to center their attention all on Eddie Elaine. So Redlands, who had deferred the opening kickoff, will now receive the football to open things up here for the second half of play. Eli Martinez has it teed up and ready to rumble here for the Braves. Amar Ashley is one of the backs here for Redlands. And it will go to Ashley. Lets it bounce. Picks it up right about his own 8-yard line, looking for some daylight. Still on his feet and takes it just beyond the 25-yard line. So let's see if any kind of offensive adjustments have been made during their time in the locker room. As we mentioned, Dawson Martinez, the quarterback here for the Terriers of Redlands, is a freshman, has some signs and showing of some skills, but obviously in that development scenario right now.
And we've seen some pretty good freshman quarterbacks this season. In fact, quarterback at King High School is a true freshman and is throwing up some big numbers for the school up on the hill.
Looking for a receiver, could not find anybody, gets wrapped up for a loss, and that's just kind of the Achilles heel so far. He just can't find an open receiver that quick.
No, and the Norte Vista throwing the blitz, going out on the edge, really collapsing that offense, really funneling it to go up the middle, and he just doesn't have enough time to throw the football.
No, there's been so much pressure through most of the night defensively here by the Braves. He's had to hurry plenty of throws. And unfortunately gets caught for a loss of about nearly 3 on the play. So it'll be a second, we'll call it a 2nd and 13 scenario here for the Terriers. Ashley, the lone setback. Give is to Ashley. Bit of daylight. Keeps the feet moving and will pick up. Maybe almost 10 on the play, but of course they were working with a 3-yard deficit as well. So it'll be a 3rd down scenario here for the Terriers.
Yeah, nice run, great block from the big boys up front. Number 68 and number 70, Kareem Hassania and Jefferson Ortiz.
Looks like about a 3rd and 4th scenario is what we'll call it here for the Terriers. Once again, Ashley, your lone setback. He's been pretty much your key runner for the Terriers throughout most of the contest. Almost dropped by Martinez. He's going to look for an open receiver and has nobody and gets dropped for a loss.
I mean, those snaps, the defense is there before he even gets the ball. I mean,
that's a key point. Just the interaction between the center and Martinez just has not been that effective. So back to receive will be Micah Gaines and Eddie Elaine. They'll be standing right at about their own 42-yard line. End over end punt. Looks like the Braves are just going to let it fall and drop, and it bounces in their favor as it will be touched right at the 47-yard line of Norte Vista.
Oh, we have some people watching across the country. We got Henry Rich turning 15 years old today. He's watching us on Riverside TV in Deerfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday, Henry.
15 years old, watching the Braves on Riverside TV.
Very cool. Our worldwide audience.
Yeah, we had somebody last week, they were somewhere overseas watching. I got a text and said, hey, I was a graduate of, I think it was Poly. It couldn't have been 1800s, but it was a Poly graduate, and he said he was in Spain. I'm like, hey, good for you. Hope he wasn't near the Canary Islands.
1st and 10. Pitch goes back to Carvajal. Maybe a yard on the carry.
You see all the volcanoes that are going on? There's a big volcano.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. A lot of activity going on right now.
Yeah, don't go to that's not a place to go right now.
Do not go.
Nope.
Of course, I wasn't really planning on going anytime soon.
It's one of the few. I've been there.
You have?
I have. Years ago, I went and played basketball there. It was like playing against guys that have never played basketball. It was a great time, but really far away.
2nd and 8. Pitch is going to go back once again to Carvajal. Gets stacked up. Looks like it's going to be a loss on that carry. Actually, that might have been Richardson. So Elaine's going to come back in.
Yeah, they just don't look like they're in tuned offensively tonight.
No, it looks like towards the latter part of the second quarter now, early here in the third, it's just not working on all cylinders right now.
No, they timing seems to be a little off, and the big boys up front normally don't ever get pushed around. Have some problems, but they are putting 10, 11 guys right in the box there. Force and Novi. Hey, you got to beat us. You got to beat us bad.
So with a loss on the carry, makes it a 3rd and 10 situation here for the Braves. They keep moving Angel Navarro back and forth and getting a little bit of confusion there, and the Braves will have to take a timeout to sort it all together here.
And there we go right there. That says it all. That offense is really not flowing. Coach Batdorf had to call a timeout. Guys didn't know where they were on the field.
Yeah, he's giving his guys an earful right now. They did not have to call any timeouts at all in the first half. And now early here in the third, having to take a tee. Ken Batdorf, as we mentioned, 28 years at the helm of Norte Vista.
He's near 200 wins, too.
That's right.
Yeah,
he's approaching that.
I think he's right around 196.
196 or 197.
Yeah, right around there.
So a few wins down the road here in league play will take him to that magical 200 mark.
That's a lot of wins.
That's an incredible amount of wins. So Eddie Lane is in the backfield again here for the Braves of Norte Vista. 3rd and 10 scenario. Sending Navarro in motion. Pitch back to Elaine. Following his blockers, and once again, Jeff, boy, they've got it figured out. The Terriers have finally put things together defensively to stop the Braves.
Yeah, they're getting them in the backfield. I mean, they are doing everything that Norte Vista was doing to them defensively. And if Redlands can just, get an offensive set here, get a little luck, the Braves could be in trouble here.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can generate some offense, they can get themselves back into this ball game. Clock has stopped. Actually, clock is running at 7:33 here in the 3rd. Lamar Ashley will be the lone back here for the Terriers. Nice spiral punt. Ashley's going to take it right ahead of 16. Gets wrapped up after some forward progress. And we got another flag down on the field. And we also have a Brave down on the field too.
Yeah, I'm going to say maybe a block in the back on this one. I believe it involves the injured player.
I believe that might be Richard Cruz down on the turf. And that could have been in. A block in the back scenario puts him down as well as generates the penalty. He's under some pain right now.
Yeah, Coach Batdorf's had some injuries early in the season. In fact, he told you and I he was finally healthy. Everybody's out on the field.
Everybody's here. That was one of his big encouragements, that he had everybody on the field that was pretty healthy and ready to play. So Cruz, it is Ricardo Cruz, a senior. Looks like he's going to be able to walk it off, just kind of limping just a bit.
Referees are conferring. I just hope they were talking about the penalty and not what they were going to eat later.
Yeah, where'd he go to eat? Personal foul.
Offsetting penalties?
Offsetting. Or actually 2. So this will really set back the Terriers, as it looks like the ball's going to be spotted right at about the 12-yard line. Yeah, they're really pushing it back.
Man alive. That's a big penalty.
That's just not what the Terriers needed at this point.
Oh, playing great defense and giving yourself an opportunity. You can't pass away those. Norte Vista's defense has proven they've stopped Redlands tonight.
They had a couple of instances in the first half, if you recall, where their field position was pretty decent. Yeah. Unfortunately, just couldn't capitalize on any of that. So it'll be a 1st down and 10 here for Redlands, right at their own 11-yard line. Sending Ashley in motion. The give is to Ashley. Makes a spin move and maybe a pickup of 5 to 6 yards on that carry.
He's a very good back in open space. I like how they get him the ball. He's not a power runner, but they do give it to him so he can create some space and get some yards.
Well, he is a little hard to wrap up, being 5'5", 135. That's kind of a small target to try to reach for.
I'm telling you. But it finally feels like fall. Earlier today, it felt like summer. Yesterday was the first official day of fall, I believe. But tonight,
it's kind of chilly out. Just enough of a chill to get a sweatshirt out. 2nd and 5 is your scenario here for the Terriers of Redlands. Martinez dumps it out to his left. Catch is made. Maybe a pickup of 2. Jacob Marion, your receiver on the play here for Redlands. So it'll make it a 3rd down, maybe 3rd and 3 we'll call it here for the Terriers. Clock is moving at 5:50 to play here in the 3rd.
And this is a big play here. They've got to get that 1st down, or they're going to put Novi in some pretty good field position here.
Yeah, because their kicking game has not been that strong. Martinez looking out to his left. Grab is almost made. Looks like it was intended for Julian Scarborough. And just could not get a handle on it. So unfortunately brings up a punting situation here for the Terriers of Redlands. So doing great defensively, but just offensively can't make things happen so far.
Yeah, neither team has been electric on offense. To say it's been a defensive battle. It's like watching
kind of a surprise.
It's kind of like watching paint dry. I want to see some scoring.
And both teams are capable of scoring, as you see, with a couple of the blowouts that Norte Vista has had this year. End over end punt. Takes a bounce, is going to get taken right at the 46 and getting pushed beyond midfield. Micah Gaines on the run back here for Norte Vista.
Well, we've had one pass tonight, right, from Novi.
One pass.
Or two passes, I was just told.
Okay.
So
we're getting closer.
We're getting close, but if it's under 5, you owe me a burrito.
Okay. I'm good for it.
And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm next time I see you, I expect a burrito in tow.
And only from Miguel's Jr.
You got it.
I should get some residuals from them folks. Pitch goes back to Carvajal. Stays on his feet and pushes his way forward. Looks like it'll be a pickup of 8 on the carry. Making the stop is Arnold Regalado.
See, that's the offense we are used to seeing.
There you go.
That tight set, off tackle, misdirection. You know, one thing that Coach Batdorf does every single year, it's a tradition, in his 28 years here, 28, 74, one of the two. He takes his kids before every homecoming game, he invites them to his house, and he gives them a giant barbecue.
Oh, nice. Elaine, your ball carrier. Ooh, going to get stacked up. I don't know if they're going to give him forward progress on that. So, if anything, it's going to be a loss.
He gets 2 buses, 2 full-size buses, gets all the kids on the bus. You know, he lives in a mansion. He does.
Really?
He lives in a mansion.
Really?
Lives in a mansion on the hill. He's like Batman minus the. he's like Bruce Wayne minus the coolness. The cool. You know, I don't know if I want to see Ken Batdorf in a Batman costume, but he lives in like Bruce Wayne manner. He's got a big pool, and he feeds the kids on homecoming every year. He's been doing it. It's a pretty incredible thing.
And it looks like the Braves will pick up the first down on that carry.
It's like the Wayne Manor.
I'm sure the kids must love it. My goodness.
Yeah, but they got to lock up all those Fabergé eggs and. Ken does more for his student athletes than any coach I've ever seen. And I kid and I make fun of him, but really a good-hearted human being, loves his kids. He's got a daughter who's a phenomenal swimmer, baby Batdorf Brooke, who's a great swimmer. She's always on coach's side, always with him.
Give is going to go back. And with some daylight, your ball carrier is Demarion Richardson. Looks like he picked up close to a first. So did pick up a first down. So ball is now spotted just inside of the 25-yard line. So now a little bit of life coming back here for the Braves. Eddie Elaine on the carry, makes a spin move and will pick up close to 7 yards on that carry. So now they're kind of getting back into that rhythm, Jeff, offensively.
Getting in that rhythm and running that offense that we've seen that's been so potent. They get real tight, and then they run the misdirection off tackle, and very tough to stop.
Carvajal now back into the game. Richardson's going to come down for a short breather. So expect a toss here to Jesse Carvajal. Goes in motion, and the toss is to Jesse. Keeps the feet moving, gets stacked up. They might give him forward progress for 1 yard. 3rd and short scenario here for the Braves.
And that's going to be a penalty after the whistle, which can never be good for either team. I think this is an ejection, actually. Sure looks like something.
We'll see the indication. Yeah, dead ball. Goes against the Braves.
Yeah.
Wow. So that'll push him back 5.
Matt Ariano, white hat, local, teaches at King High School.
3rd and 5 scenario now here for the Braves. Toss goes back to Elaine. Has a bit of daylight. Gets pushed forward close to the first down marker. But could be shy.
And they move them. The sticks are moved.
So 1st down and 10 now here for Norte Vista. Richardson, actually it's a keeper by Garcia, and he gets wrestled down. Looks like there might be a loss on the play as well.
Yeah, they tried that play in the first half, got some yardage from Garcia. Not that time, as the Terriers were ready for him.
Yeah, I need to see him throw a pass. I need to see him throw like
You need
4 more passes.
You need 4 more passes.
Eddie Elaine gets the toss. Just up the gut. Picks up close to 4, maybe 5 on the carry. Makes it a 3rd and 5 scenario here for Norte Vista. Richardson now back into the ball game, along with Chamal. So Batdorf just kind of mixing things up with his running backs here, Jeff.
Yeah, Lane just came out of the ball game. Looked like he's a little shook up.
3rd and 5 scenario for Norte Vista. Long count by Garcia. Looks like he's trying to make them jump. And he may have to take a timeout. So it looks like he might have been intentionally trying to get a jump out of the defense and unfortunately couldn't get it to go.
Well, the Braves have to burn a second timeout. You got 1 left here. Just 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
You know, one thing that Ken Batdorf mentioned to us pregame, which he's very excited about and very pleased, is the fact that his kids are doing well in the classroom.
Yeah.
He mentioned he had about 40 kids that were at least 3.0.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, during this COVID situation, they had a game canceled. So he said, heck with it, guys. We're not going to get behind in school. And, you've been out of school basically for 18 months on campus. And, it takes a little bit of a while to kind of get back in the rhythm of studying and so forth. So that week they were off, he was in the classroom every single day. And he was feeding these guys, too. That was one thing. If I was going to study hall and getting fed, I would be there every darn day as well. But, not one player in his program was ineligible. He was very proud of that.
A lot to be grateful for. Braves run it up the middle as usual. Will be shy of the first down marker. Chamal was your ball carrier. 4th and short is your scenario, and obviously the Braves are... Actually, are they going to take their final timeout? Well, actually, the quarter's going to expire, so they're just going to come in and talk about it as the 3rd quarter will come to a close here.
I'm a little concerned just because in the last 2 games we've covered Norte Vista, they've only put up 21 points.
That's amazing. We're kind of jinxing them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think
the Riverside TV jinx.
I can't do any games anymore.
So as we head into the 4th quarter, it's Norte Vista leading this contest by a score of 14-0. Finally, the Braves have kind of found a little bit of light offensively here in the latter part of the 3rd quarter. And I'm sure Coach Batdorf wants to kind of step on the accelerator and make things happen a little bit brighter here in the 4th quarter play.
Yeah, you have to be on all cylinders when you're going into league play. And right now, defensively, they've been stellar. It's that offense that we've always talked about.
Right.
It just, they just haven't seemed to be able to get it. But, hey, we got to tip our caps off to Redlands High School, who's been phenomenal tonight defensively.
Yes. We haven't talked much about their head coach, Mike McFarland. This is his 4th season here for the Terriers of Redlands. Comes in with some experience from the collegiate ranks, though. Spent about 10 years at a couple of different locations, one of them being at Occidental College here in Southern California, where as a member of their coaching squad was part of a couple of SCIAC titles. Carvajal in motion. Actually, the give goes right up the middle. And let's see if it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, SCIAC, what a great football conference. Small college football here in Southern California. We got a great team out of University of Redlands. The Bulldogs.
Yes.
The Bulldogs and the Terriers.
There must be a canine type of thing there happening in that city.
Yeah.
Wow, so they got caught short from what it looks like. Nope, they're going to bring out the chain gang for the second time.
The second time we haven't seen the chain. Look at him.
Man,
That's
2
great.
times tonight. What more can you ask for?
Man, those are the unsung heroes of football. The chain gang, those guys that stand on the sidelines.
Looks like it's going to be short. Look at that. By about 18 inches or so. So they will turn it over on downs. And Redlands will operate way deep into their territory. So this really gives an opportunity for the defense of the Braves to kind of flex the muscles a little bit.
Yeah, momentum has definitely changed, though. You stop the Braves.
Yeah.
You're definitely holding a lane under, his 200-plus yard average tonight.
Right.
So those are minor victories. If you don't win the game, you can still say, hey, look, we've done well enough defensively. We just need to do maybe, work on our offense, change a little bit here and there. Hey, they could be a very, very good team in the Citrus Belt League that they've been around for 1,000 years.
Ashley goes in motion. He is your ball carrier. Gets some daylight, stays on his feet, and the ball's on the turf. It looks like Novi has it. And they do. In fact, is it in the end zone?
They don't signal a touchdown.
That's
Remember,
true. They don't signal touchdowns. At least, yeah, I think it is a touchdown. Oh, no, it'll be shy by about a yard. So Lamar Ashley, your ball carrier, coughs it up. Let's take a second look at this one, Jeff. Well, maybe we don't have that.
The Braves lucked out there. Got one on defense. See if they can punch it in on the offensive side, though.
This will definitely keep the momentum going offensively here for the Braves of Norte Vista. 1st and goal. And right up the gut. Is that a keeper by Garcia? There were so many bodies there. Noah Lane comes up with the rock.
I just saw an official. He gave it the touchdown.
He actually gave the signal that it's a score. Take another look at this one. Toss goes back to Elaine. Gets stacked up, but keeps it moving and into the end zone for 6. So now it looks like they're stepping on the accelerator pedal just a bit. Kick is up on the way, looks good, and it is. So the clock stopped at 11:39 here in the 4th quarter of play. The Braves extend that lead even further by leading this contest with a score of 21-0.
Looks like a Frank Corral kick right there.
Yeah, there you go. Nice conversation you had there with Frank Corral.
It's always nice to talk to one of my childhood heroes. I've known him 50 years.
That's
I'm
amazing.
50 years old. I've known him since I was born. He used to carry me around in diapers. He even said it on the air. I don't want anybody to know that Frank Corral used to carry me around.
It's great to have him back for this homecoming contest for tonight. And it's great to see. I mean, the crowd's really big tonight, too. This is really great to see. This feels like we're back to normal, pre-pandemic time.
I tell you what, the last 2 years have done wonders on you. You look amazing, JR.
I try. I've definitely done what I can to keep away from the Rona. I didn't want to get anything sick as the ball gets kicked down to about the 25.
You know what, though? I think the masks that you've had to wear have moisturized your face, and you look younger than you ever have.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, the COVID has done us well as far as keeping us preserved.
Slim and trim, kind of somewhat preserved. Other than the occasional burrito from Miguel's Jr. Clock stopped at 11:37.
My son's here with me, and he said, Dad, we got to stop at Baker's on the way home. That's going to cost me a fortune. He's 15 and hungry all the time.
And hungry, just like your typical 15-year-old.
Yep.
So the Terriers of Redlands will operate with a first down and 10 right at about their own 25-yard line. See if they can finally punch one into the end zone here. They've not had much effect, and it looks like they're taking too much time and won't get a flag. Wow. You saw Martinez kind of looking things over at the defense and just didn't look at the countdown clock. And we'll get backed up 5 yards on this series. Give to Ashley. Gets caught by the jersey. Maybe 2 to 3 on the gain. Jamal making the stop here for the Braves of Norte Vista. Puts the clock in motion with 11:15 remaining in this contest. So a second and long scenario. Call it maybe a 2nd and 13. Martinez evades one defender, and no daylight, going to get wrapped up for a loss. So once again, the same scenario. Just cannot find anybody right off the bat.
It's hard to be poised in the backfield when you're running for your life.
Exactly. See Ashley in motion. And boy, just immediately pursuit there by Albert Perez. Perez really put the fear right in Martinez there. Wasn't able to get the grab, but nonetheless put enough pressure to cause some confusion there by Martinez. Clock keeps rolling. Going to call it a third and just about a 3rd and 20. So once again, the Terriers find themselves backed up pretty significantly here. Martinez under pressure again. Eludes a couple of defenders, dumps it out, had a receiver open, and just could not make the catch. It was Lamar Ashley once again.
Yeah, that was an opportunity right there for them to get a nice little gain. But now they're going to have to punt.
Kind of threw it to the backside of his receiver. Actually, it was not Ashley, the intended receiver. I see a number 3, and I have no number 3 on my roster. So he's our mystery receiver for tonight. Braves back for another punt. Ooh, this is not a very good one either. Dribbles out just past midfield. It will be actually not quite to midfield. Lands itself more just past the 45-yard line. So nice field position here for the Braves. A lane coming off of the field.
Yeah, he had looked a little injured earlier. Came out of the ball game. Hopefully everything's okay.
Looks like Richardson is lined up in that I formation. Play action. Actually a keeper by Garcia. Will scamper for about 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry. I was kind of hoping he'd throw a pass.
Yep, not happening. I'm winning that burrito, my friend.
I mean, come on. You got a 3-touchdown lead. Let's throw some footballs here.
I could probably text Batdorf. I don't know if he'd look at his phone, but I could say, hey, I really would appreciate it if you don't throw again tonight.
We'll call it a 2nd and 5 scenario here for the Braves of Norte Vista. Eddie Elaine back into the backfield here for Novi. Pitch back to Elaine. Makes a spin move close to a first down. May have picked it up depending on where they give him the spot. Yep, they're going to give it to him.
Yes, they are.
So now the Braves really kind of coming back to life here offensively, Jeff.
Yeah, they just have to, can't turn the ball over. Still, three score game here, but can't turn it over. And just kind of, let's see if he can ride this out, get the victory going into league.
1st and 10 from their 36-yard line. Carvajal on the carry. Gets stacked up, but pushes forward for maybe a gainer of 2 or 3, depending on how they spot the football.
We will be back tomorrow, JR. In fact, we will be on Riverside TV as RCC will be battling Golden West. The Rustlers of Golden West.
Some local community college football.
We had a game last week versus Saddleback. The Tigers put up 36 points, only 1 offensive touchdown, but we did get 3 50-plus yard field goals.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
A pass attempt. Can you believe it? And the catch is made, and looks like he's in for the score. Penalty on the play.
No touchdown. That didn't count as a pass either.
Micah Gaines made the reception from what we can see so far, but there's a flag down on the play. It's a nice toss there by Garcia. Look at that.
That was a great throw.
Catch is made, and he breaks the plane, so I would think he would get the touchdown, but their flag could be going against the Braves here. And I think it is because they're walking it back. Oh, it looks like a defensive
pass interference.
Actually, offensive pass.
Yeah, offensive.
Wow, so Gaines may have been called for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's it's not considered a pass.
That is a pass attempt.
No.
I mean, it's a pass attempt.
No, it's not.
Oh, come on.
It's not in the stat books. It is not a pass.
But we're talking pass attempts.
No, we got to go with authentic stat passing. So that is still only 2 passes. I could even I'll give you that third one, JR.
Okay.
I'll give you 3. Still, he's not
so
going to
there's
get
still
it.
time. It's 7:43 on the clock, so hopefully Garcia will pull for me here. Toss goes back to Elaine. So once again, the bread and butter here for the Braves of Norte Vista.
Yeah, we do have some fun, though, don't we?
Absolutely.
Gotta have little side bets.
Got to make it interesting.
Well, he said on the coach's perspective this week that, Ken Batdorf said, he was going to be I'm going to throw the ball. I think you're not either. You're never going to throw the ball. He was giving me coach speak. We always get the coach speak. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
And they do the complete opposite.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah. Clock is rolling with 7 to play here in this contest. Elaine, once again, it looks like we're going to get a reverse over to Carvajal. Has some daylight. Plenty of green in front of him as he gets some blocking. Takes the football inside of the 25 for a first down. Nice executed play here by the Braves. And I see another late flag here.
Let's see where the flag is.
This one might go against the Terriers. There is a...
Did they throw another flag just now? I believe they did.
It seems like they threw it after the fact.
Just now, there was another one. It must be on the sideline, maybe.
Yeah, I think Coach McFarland might have been giving a few words to the Zebra Stripes.
As we see Matt Ariano.
Yeah, Matt Ariano is having a few words with the sidelines there.
He's the best basketball official of all time, I think. I told you he's a Division.
He does Division I.
Division I basketball official.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Looks like there's 2 unsportsmanlike conduct. So man, they just not just got 1, but they got 2.
And I think you can get 2 because it was on the sideline call. So yes, you can tack it on.
Wow.
The coach, I think, got 1.
Man, this really pushes the football inside of the 10-yard line, right at about the 5. So once again, the Braves are threatening to score. Elaine gets the pitch. Gets pushed forward, might get a gainer of about 1 to 2 on the carry. Guess a little bit of frustration on that sideline from Redlands just caused them 2 very significant penalties there.
Yeah, usually if you have 1, just tacks on the initial 15, but I think if it's a sideline play, you can tack on a second one.
Right. So it puts the clock in motion right at about 6 minutes left to play. And it looks like the Braves are going to handily get another one in the win column here. Carvajal now in the backfield for the Braves. Pitch goes back up the middle. Carvajal, your ball carrier, might have picked up 1.
But pretty good, darn good defense still.
Not bad
by Redlands.
They're flexing their muscles still. They're not giving up by any means defensively. As we see the pitch go back to Carvajal, and maybe picks up 1 on the carry. So it's a 3rd and goal situation. Elaine now in the backfield for Norte Vista. Navarro once again goes in motion. Pitch back to Elaine. Gets stacked up. I think he's not going to get anything on that game.
No. Now, if you're Batdorf, do you go for the field goal or do you go for the points?
I think you go for the points. I can't imagine him doing the kick. Yeah, here's Elaine coming back. Actually, your ball carrier on that was Richardson. Richardson will come out for the breather, and Elaine now back into the backfield. So clock is rolling here with 4:39 remaining in the contest. So with a 4th and short scenario, keep your eyes on Eddie Elaine here. Navarro in motion. Pitch back to Elaine. They're going to push him forward. Does he make it? Oh, a little bit of extracurricular activity happening there, and we have a flag on the field.
That's going to be another personal foul.
Let's take a second look at this one here. Elaine on the pitch. Looks like
he looked like he crossed the plane.
I think he broke the plane, but is this against? No,
no touchdown.
No touchdown. Boy, I almost thought he broke that plane. But boy, this really puts Redlands in a pretty sticky scenario right at the 1-foot line, and there's a personal foul, so that actually is going to move the football forward. So the Terriers were almost caught right at the 1-foot line, but thanks to a personal foul, will get it pushed forward right to about their own 15.
Yeah, Coach Batdorf cannot be happy about that.
No, we're still seeing some mistakes and mental breakdowns here by the Braves. 4:10 remaining in the contest. Lamar Ashley, your lone setback. High snap once again. Give is to Ashley. Spins around. And maybe a yard if they give him a generous spot. And he picked up maybe a couple. So we'll call it a 2nd and 8 scenario.
I believe these referees are going to run this clock out the best they can so we don't get anybody hurt or any more unnecessary penalties.
Or any more pass attempts.
Yeah. No more. Yeah, I won that burrito tonight. I walk out of here with a victory.
Martinez under pressure once again. Evades one defender. Oh, looks like we might have a hold there, but it doesn't get called. Martinez getting pushed out. Ball is stripped away, but it goes out of bounds. Still will be in possession here of the Terriers. That'll stop the clock at 3:09. See a little bit of a hold there that they got away with.
Yeah, they did.
And nice strip by Carvajal. Man, I love that. Unfortunately, the Braves could not get a handle on it. But Carvajal, the beast. So we're looking at a 3rd and 5 scenario here for the Terriers. Just about 3 minutes remaining. Scarborough went in motion. Under pressure again. Flag down on the field. Looking long. And catch is made. But I think we may get this called back with a holding call.
Yeah, I believe you are right. But a good throw there.
Very good throw. Martinez has a pretty good arm. Reception was made by our mystery receiver, number 3.
Number 3. Good job, number 3.
But yeah, it's a call that will go against the Terriers and negate that gain. It's one of the better looking plays they've had all night.
Yeah.
So you see when Martinez can get somebody open, he has a pretty decent, accurate arm.
He's just been running for his dear life most of the night.
Exactly. So much pressure put on here by the Braves defensively. So as we look down the road, next weekend, Braves will take on Arlington on an away game and the first River Valley League game of the 2021 season. Pass down the middle. Catch is made, and what a hit by Eddie Elaine, but you know what? He may get a target call on that one.
Yes, he is.
Ryan Miller makes the reception, and boy, he's getting up real gingerly on that one. And flag was thrown, so I think Elaine was going to get called for a target. He said, boy, that would be a shame because that would be the 3rd one of the night, Jeff.
Yeah, if you're Northern, you got to be smart. You're going to play, you're going to play games here in the next 5 games that are going to mean an awful lot more than they do in the preseason. And mistakes like this in a close game could really cost you. I know Coach Batdorf's not happy with this as we see the replay.
See the reception here by Miller and Elaine. Boom. Yeah, boy, helmet to helmet. Boy, that's not good. It's easy to do. There's no question it's so easy to do, but the rules nowadays really makes it a serious infraction.
Young kids getting helmet to helmet. You got to be very careful with that.
Absolutely. So the clock rolls here at 2:15 remaining in this contest. Breathes a little bit of life here for the Terriers, but they're still right at their own 30-yard line. Terriers don't seem to be in any kind of hurry, and they need to rush things if they want to get something on the scoreboard here. Back to pass. Catch is made and taken down by our mystery receiver.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Good job, number 3.
Picks up about 8 on the reception, so we'll call it a 2nd and 2 scenario. but just about a minute and a half before this game comes to a close. Out to his right. Martinez once again scrambling and looking. Looking, has somebody open, and reception is made by our mystery receiver for the first down.
Number 3 has got some receiving yards here in the last few minutes.
He's done well.
He had a great game.
He's done well.
Number 3, whoever you are, nice job.
You know, the next 2 games are away games, Jeff, so it's interesting. They play Arlington next Friday, and then the Friday after that is against Patriot.
And
So
then the granddaddy of them all right there.
And then the collision course here.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
First down and 10. Inside of a minute to play. Ashley, your ball carrier, gets turned around. We'll pick up about 2, maybe 3 on the carry. And the Terriers are not stopping the clock. So if they're trying to get something into the end zone, they're just going to run out of time here inside of 30 seconds remaining in this contest. In fact, they're really taking their time here. Martinez looking out, has a man open. Catch is made for a first down. Nice reception pulled in by Jacob Marion. First down, stops the clock with 9 seconds remaining. So if they want to get something on the scoreboard, they're going to have to probably do some sort of Hail Mary type setup here.
Go to the end zone. They got 1 play left. That's what they're going to.
Once again, a nice toss by Martinez. He definitely has the skills and abilities to develop into being a very, very decent quarterback. So here's a look at our upcoming television schedule. Norte Vista versus Redlands. Obviously, it's tonight's contest. Then we have Hillcrest versus Patriot next weekend. Actually, it's a double. It's a twin spin, if you will. We have 2 different teams out as Hillcrest takes on Patriot. Citrus Hill versus Pauley. Then when you look down the road, we have Roosevelt versus Keene on October the 8th. Then it's Canyon Springs versus Pauley on the 9th. Ramona versus Norte Vista, the big collision course, on October the 15th. Then you'll have Hemet versus North also on October the 15th. Arlington taking on La Sierra on the 21st. Norte Vista versus Hillcrest on the 22nd. Valley View versus North on the 22nd. And Hillcrest versus the Rams of Ramona on October the 29th. So plenty of television coverage of Riverside football here on Riverside TV. Martinez back to pass for probably the last time tonight under some pressure. Looking down, evades one defender, and that will close out the ball game. So unfortunately, the Terriers could not punch it into the end zone. They were showing a little bit of life offensively here in the latter part of the 4th quarter, but they come up just shy and will lose this contest by a score of 21-0. So Jeff, final thoughts?
Final thoughts are both teams very good defensively. Redlands, young quarterback, a lot of upside, high ceiling for those guys, but a good win to put Norte Vista undefeated going into a league play, going into River Valley play.
That is the key, as we mentioned early on in this contest, that having some momentum heading into River Valley is a crucial element, although there are some things to kind of brush up on here. I mean, there were some mistakes, some penalties that did not come at opportune times.
Yeah, Coach Batdorf cannot be happy with the way a couple of his guys performed. Too many penalties, penalties that should never happen. You know, the targeting and so forth. Hopefully, they can clean things up before they get into the league next week.
So that will wrap things up here from Earp Stadium. For Jeff Gorham, this is J.R. Ibarra, and for all of our award-winning Riverside TV crew, we thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Make sure to join us again next weekend for some great football action here on Riverside TV. Take care. Have yourselves a great weekend.